An ISA is an individual savings account, and in the UK you can deposit up to £20,000 per financial year, with any interest or capital gains being completely tax-free. Your yearly allowance can be spread across different ISAs and renews every April 6th, which is the end of the tax year in the UK. As the balances can't be carried over, I try to make the most of my ISA allowance every year. Now, there are several different ISAs available and they all have different limits to what you can put in. If you have more than one ISA, those accounts will all contribute to your £20,000 ISA limit. If they're all with different companies, they won't talk to each other, so it will be up to you to make sure your ISA deposits to those accounts don't collectively go over that allowance. First up, we have a cash ISA, which acts like a savings account and is a low-risk, tax-free way to save. Previously, you could deposit the entire £20,000 allowance into this account and let it generate interest. However, this rule has changed, and from April 2026, a new limit of £12,000 has been introduced. A stocks and shares ISA lets you invest in stocks, shares and bonds. This is considered a little riskier as the stock price may fluctuate. However, there is potential for higher returns than a regular cash ISA. So far, the UK government has not imposed a limit on this, and you can invest the full £20,000 allowance. A lifetime ISA was introduced in 2016 and is for those saving for their first house, currently worth up to £450,000, or for your retirement. This account has a deposit limit of £4,000 per year. The government adds a 25% bonus to whatever you add that year. So if you reach the £4,000 limit, you'll get an extra £1,000. However, there is a 25% fee on the total balance if you withdraw your money for a reason other than purchasing your first house or retirement. Next, there is the Innovative Finance ISA. Here you can lend money to individuals or businesses through different platforms, which allow peer-to-peer lending, and you earn interest on those loans. Generally, this is considered one of the riskier types of ISAs available. Finally is the Junior ISA, where a parent or guardian can invest on behalf of their child, who will be able to access the money when they turn 18. The ISA allowance for this type of account is £9,000 a year, and obviously allocated to the child, so it doesn't count towards your own £20,000 ISA allowance. Each ISA has its own pros and cons, and depending on the company or bank you open your ISA with, you should be aware of the different terms and conditions before signing up. For example, you may have an ISA that only allows you to withdraw 3 times within a single tax year before your interest rate will drop. There may be bonuses for keeping your money in the account for a year, and withdrawing early will lose the bonus. There may be a fixed interest rate or a variable one, so it's important to compare what ISAs are available and which is the best for you. Of course, you can have more than one type of ISA and spread your allowance across them. For example, you could put £12,000 into a cash ISA, £4,000 into a LISA, and £4,000 into a stocks and shares ISA. Or you could invest the max allowance into your stocks and shares ISA. Something you should look out for when choosing an ISA is whether the provider has FSCS protection. This means that if you hold deposits or savings with a UK authorised bank, building society or credit union and it goes out of business, FSCS can compensate you up to the new limit of £120,000 per eligible person per authorised firm. To choose my ISAs, I used Money Saving Expert, which I put a link to in the description. If you want to see which ISAs I have, how much I put in, and what the returns have been so far, check out this video here.